That was a good scone, wasn't it? It wasn't a scone, excuse me. It was a
Yeah,
croissant.
it was a croissant. Yeah, that was nice.
Très délicieux. So let's see, what can we talk about today? It's going to be getting, hopefully, chillier soon.
Yeah.
What did you learn in the last 24 hours, my love?
Well, I wish I'd have written it down where I could read it. It's a thing about not letting people take advantage of you. You know, they get comfortable doing that. You know, and if you allow that to happen to you, you know, you just can't do it. I'll tell you. Let me just read this. Can I do that? This is good. You know, this shit's deep. The more changes. More chances that you give someone, the less respect they'll start having for you. They'll begin to, what the hell? They'll begin to ignore the standards that you set because they'll know another chance will always be given. They're not afraid to lose you because they know that no matter what, you won't walk away. And they get comfortable with depending on your forgiveness. Never let a person get comfortable with disrespecting you. And that's been happening, you know. And it has to come to the end of stupid stuff like that. I think that the world is spinning out of control, but it's getting back into control. And when I read that, I went, man, I have been doing that for years and years, you know, and I just have to stop it, you know, allowing that to happen. You know, someone's abusing you, using you.
Would you say that affected you in your musical life? In your professional life?
Oh, yeah, I would say so. But, you know, I'm behind every decision that I've ever made. You know, right, wrong, good, bad, or indifferent. That would be someone on the outside's opinion looking at me. And they said, well, if I had been you, this is the way I would have done things. This is how I would have conducted myself, and this is what I would have done to be a superstar, you know. There comes a time in your life when you have to put away those childish thoughts and things, you know, and stand up for yourself. I had opportunity to, the same devil that Eric made a deal with tried to make a deal with me. The same person. And I said, no, it's a moral compromise for me. It was, it was the time, okay, I got to stand on my own feet, making my decision about my life. You know, this man's opening the door to the planet for me. Here I sit now. No compromise all along my whole life. You know?
Are you happy?
Oh, I'm happy that every decision that I've made has been the right one. I've landed on my feet so many times, it's a wonder they're not as flat as this table. Never look at the glass being half empty, ever, because I know it's going to be full and overflowing with whatever it is, because I'm following the still voice that roars like a lion. The same still voice that I follow when I paint. I'm listening. I'm the instrument. You know, I'm the messenger. I know I am. And it comes through my art, whether it's music or painting or my woodwork, whatever it is, there's expression. And there's message behind all of it. And so I know that my journey, I've done the right things and made the right decisions all along in my journey, you know. And I'm 72 now, and my journey will be coming to an end, you know, probably in my late 80s, early 90s. I'm going to stay around to make sure I got it right, all the
So-
T's crossed and I's dotted.
You're not a man with a message. You're a message with a man.
That would be it, yeah. I'm a message in the form of a man. It's pretty amazing. I know who I am, and I know what I am.
Does money have anything to do with who you are and what you are?
No, Lord, no. Money comes and goes.
Money, fame, fortune, all those
All that stuff, that's fleeting. Fame is fleeting. It won't feed you. And money comes and goes. But it's these decisions of integrity, these things that when we're following our heart, following that dream, if it's a dream, but you're really following your heart. You're following
your intuition.
every step. Intuition, every step. It might seem muddy and wrong, but it's right and long, and you're stepping the right way. You know it. You feel it. It's almost treacherous and scary. Stepping out into the unknown. Oh, wow. What a wonderful place to be. You're absolutely free.
Pull that off and read that.
Oh, this one. Oh, this is so good.
2 messages for today.
Yeah, and these 2 messages just literally changed my life for the better and enhancing it and understanding these things. I was real sick last year from September through December. They didn't have a name for it. It wasn't categorized, but I was real sick, and my doctor said probably I had that thing, But they gave me some pills that just made things dark. I don't take any kind of pharmaceuticals or nothing. It just made my world dark. And this is Rumi. So this is the guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat every guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. That makes all the world of sense to me. It's like following your heart, like listening, you're going,
You've changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, I know I have.
Can you kind of delve into that a little bit, and
Yeah.
how much you changed and where you started and where you are now?
Oh, wow. Well, I guess everybody pretty knows mine. So, humble beginnings. My dad was a Southern Baptist minister, and he drug us ever hog waller between Diaz and Marmaduke, Arkansas, to up to Tiptonville, and he would drop us Spring Hill, Kansas. He would drop us off pretty much and go on revival meetings or go to school. He was a student when he died. He was still a student, and but he'd leave me and my mom to fend for ourselves. And even when she got pregnant with my little brother, so it was my mom, my sister, and me. Had it pretty hard. I mean, we picked up scrap metal, me and my mom, chopped cotton, beans, strawberries, and did anything we could. Bottles, pick up bottles, everything we could to just, the order of the day was putting food on the table. That was the thing. And it was a big deal when Granny Whitlock came or Big Mama came to see us, because they always had a trunk load of stuff. But yeah, we had it hard growing up. And it seems like I've had it hard all my whole life, I've struggled one way or other, but I've struggled my way to where I am now. So I rose from chopping cotton and living in a high water house. You could read yesterday's news through the cracks in the walls of our house. We had a pot-belly stove. My mama on Sunday afternoon wearing a homemade dress and cooking on wood stove. I could see it as clear as a bell. We had an outdoor toilet. Sitting in the middle of a cotton field. A hell of a deal. Someone sent me some photos the other day. Someone who knew my sister and knew my mother from over there in Arkansas. Because I wanted to try to find some of these people. I got farmed out one time. My parents were always dropping me off with somebody. I don't know why, because I was a good boy. I never was in any trouble. But they dropped me off to this place one time in Arkansas. Farmer. He did not like me, this man. He did not like me. And I was a little fella, but big enough to run a mule, ride a mule, use a mule or a tractor. I was big enough to ride on a planter.
About how old were you? Maybe 7?
8, 9, 7. And 10. But they farmed me out to this guy one summer, and I was working with him. He didn't like me at all. And then one day, he sent me to somewhere else. He farmed me out to some people that lived on the river. We're not talking about the Mississippi River, we're talking about Backwater River outside of Marmaduke, Arkansas, full of catfish and snakes, But, so and then the next thing you know, these people had a pot-belly stove in their houseboat. They really lived on it. They had 2 boys. We had a big time for a long time. Next thing you know, I'm back home, big mamas, So I was really raised by women, and but it was just step after step, and got to school. My mama said, "Just get out of high school, son." She said, "Then I'll take you downtown myself and put you out." And that she did. And I graduated from high school. I was already singing and playing. I was already doing that.
Were you having any sort of problems in your head about what was going on, or
no? I was just following my natural. It was like one step after the other. I could write songs when I was 14 years old, 15 years old. All that came real natural to me. Still does. I don't have to work for anything in that area, playing any kind of instrument or anything. It comes real natural to me. I pretty much do anything I set my mind to. But it was one gradual step. After I got out of high school, she took me down to Memphis and gave me a $50 bill and a ham sandwich and a pickle and kissed me goodbye. Had a roof over my head ever since. But next thing you know, I'm playing, Duck Dunn and Don Nix walk in, and I get hooked up with Stax, and Steve Cropper becomes my good friend. And it's like the whole thing. I get hooked up with Albert King, get to know all these wonderful people, the staple singers, Jim Stewart, Al Bell, of course Don Nix, the Memphis Horns, and and the MGs. I got to go and stand out front when Dr. King got shot. Hayes and Porter wasn't going out anymore. And so they asked me if I would go out front, and my first airplane ride was down to Macon, Georgia with Booker T and the MGs. Stood out front singing all the great songs that I just loved,
What were you singing?
Try a Little Tenderness, 634, Midnight Hour. Oh, hell, I can sing the legs off Midnight Hour in those songs. I cut my teeth on those things. So, I was like in the presence of greatness always. And I wasn't looking there to be there. I was just there. I was just there. And then when I went to California, and Delaney and Bonnie came to hear me, and I went to California 2 days later or something. And then after that thing was over, I didn't know what to do, so I called Steve Cropper, and he said, "Why don't you call Eric?" I said, "All right." Well, now with Delaney and Bonnie, I made on the road $96.50 a day and $12.50 per diem. On the road with the Beatles and That's what I was making. It was too funny. I came back from a European tour and I had a dime in my pocket. I had to borrow some money from somebody to use a
So
phone.
when everything seemed to go out of control, it just went completely out of control.
Yeah. So you take it as far as it goes, and then you got nothing to do. You're free. You're set yourself free. Well, as soon as Cropper said that, I called Eric and he said, I just said, I need a break, you know. He said, come on over and hang out. And I said, all right. And I told Cropper, and he got me a ticket, went over there and hung out with Eric. We became real close friends, and he took me around, showed me everything. You know, I was his protege, and you know, introduced me to everybody who was anybody, Stones, everybody like that. And next thing you know, George calls and wants us to put a band together to play on his record, All Things Must Pass. So that happened. 2 weeks later or something, we're in Miami, Florida, recording the Layla record. Crazy.
So it's just one step after another. It just
Boom.
unfolding before you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you let go of everything.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
life unfolds.
Yeah. I quit trying to make it happen and was just along for the ride. You know, I just like my art. I can't design anything. Say go in there and, you know, paint this or that.
So do you think you've grown a lot since the time you left home? Do you think you're a different man now?
Oh, absolutely.
In what way?
I'm
In what
more
ways?
worldly and knowledgeable. I have an understanding. I'm in touch with myself. I know who I am, why I'm here. I know what I am. You know, I know that this body is not me. This body just gets me around, you know. And I've been having a fun abusing this body. Maybe a little too much fun. but here I am after all these years, and man, it was the pedal to the metal with me. Don't put me in no Ferrari and expect you to ride 20 miles an hour. No, we're gone. You know, and I can drive the hell out of Ferraris and things like that. And also, John Deere 4440 with a 9-foot hydraulic blade. I can move some ground. You know, I know a lot of things about stuff that I probably would never have known. I can go out in the woods and build you a house. You know, I know how to do things like that, and it's just from the way I was brought up, and the way I've conducted myself. Oh Lord, I've made mountains of mistakes. You know, but how are you going to learn anything if you don't try it? You know. You can't be right unless you're wrong.
Nobody's perfect.
No, hell no, you know. And there's a lot of people think they are. I'm not one of them.
Do you have any? Well, you said you had no regrets the other day. But
No. Because
You do
I
the
know
best you
that
can.
everything that I've done, every one I have met, I remember every name and face that I've ever seen and met. I just put them together sometimes a little hard. But I remember everybody from my childhood. You know, I remember things from my childhood that when I was real small, because my dad kicked me around when I was about 3 months old. Mama said, son, I think it was like 3, you know, years, 3 years. I said, it doesn't matter. You know, if you're suddenly abused, you're aware of everything. You know, it's like a horse. You know, you break a horse too young, he broke. You know, But I'm nothing. I didn't miss anything, you know. Turned down a big offer with Robert Stigwood because I did not want to work in an office. I didn't want to be president of RSO. Hell, I was rock and rolling, having a great time out there in the world. I couldn't see me in a suit working for anybody. I ain't never worked for nobody except in the field, you know, working for those folks. But that's a have-to case. I have decisions that I can make on my own, you know, and picking up, leaving, coming and going. You know, that's all. That's all. Letting your burdens go. Cut this stuff loose and don't be tied down. And then the world can unfold for you. You know, some people are afraid to step on out there. Hell, I'm 72. I'm looking for the next chapter in my life, you know, our lives together, my love. Yeah, life's an adventure. You know, if you live it, you know, if you don't, it's a drudgery. You know, and it ain't about money. It ain't it at all. It's being that vehicle for whatever that is that moves you. I don't care if it's planting your garden. Whatever you're led to do, that's what's important. That's
It's not always about the big things.
No,
It's about the very small things.
the small things make up for big things. They turn into big things. It might be something like this. That's a memento, but that means the world to you. It's bigger than the house. Because the house is here anyway. I love the thing that Ajahn Brahm said. You can only be in one room at a time. It gives you a whole new perspective of needing one of those great big McDonald mansions,
McMansion.
McMansion? Yeah, forget about it. Forget about it. Even Eric's villa, you could put the whole place, in the front room of Friar Park, But it looks larger than it is. But that's how it is with life. It looks bigger, But then when you get in that circle, it's just like sitting here with you, circle of two.